Yeah, hit the likes and subs. Oh, yeah, they're in full coat mode right now. That's right.
welcome to the show, everybody. We got a great crowd here tonight. Look at that crowd, just packing the seats. That's great to see. We got Blood Logo, Soft Chakras, Brian Ebb, Charles Darwin. Wow, that's what an honor. Brian M. Grant's Modern Life, Maryland. Jason. Jason Scholl. Shout out everybody here. Great to be here. I was gonna do a show this morning and then I didn't want to, so I'm here right now. And I don't know, not a lot has happened, I guess, since, when was my last stream? Saturday at midnight. But there was a Super Bowl. I didn't watch it. I wonder if any of you watched the Super Bowl. I checked the score a couple times just to see what the score was. But I don't even know why I did that. I'm not even into sports or football anymore. I was gonna name the show "Abandoned Ship," dude, but I changed it. I changed the title, and everyone now is talking about, you know, the aftermath of the halftime Super Bowl shows. We're to the Pepsi Coca-Cola stage of life in the Super Bowl, where you get two choices. They're giving you two choices. You could watch. You could have watched Bad Bunny, or you could have watched Kid Rock. I mean, the two fucking worst choices in the world. And people are defending them. Like, oh, people are attacking them. Oh. Honestly, though, everyone should just abandon ship. Fuck that stuff. I don't even know why people watch it. I get it, like a family thing. You know, you're with the family, you want to watch the Super Bowl. You want to be propagandized too. Then you want to change the propaganda at halftime to something more white, I suppose. But absolutely, I'm calling for a complete boycott of sports balls, and people should, you know, people are arguing about which halftime Super Bowl was better. If you watched either halftime show, you're a fucking idiot. No offense to any of my audience. If you did watch it, sorry I called you an idiot. Maybe you were just watching the game because you were with friends and family. I don't know, but it's time people just put away childish things and institutions that don't give a shit about you. And honestly, the NFL sucks. You know, it's not a sport. It's entertainment. It's corrupt. It's awful. It's an escape from the reality that, you know, we got these Epstein files. We got Iran. We got, I found out yesterday, we have 500,000 illegal immigrants in Utah. Way too many. Way too many. Sports are a joke. And people are clinging to them and trying to defend them. And I don't get it. You know what I mean? Here's where sports, I think, are okay. If you're from the age of, I don't know, 6 to 19, maybe sports are interesting because you can play sports. But after that, I don't know why anyone watches them. But what for? You know, you got people who gamble, degenerate sports gamblers. It's awful. It's awful. Then they play, you know, Bad Bunny. I don't know what was the idea behind that. But I guess a lot of people in America speak Spanish now. Apparently the whole thing was in Spanish. I don't know why. What an odd choice. But I think the Kid Rock show sucks too if you watch that. You're a loser if you watch that as well. You're a loser. You know, what for? What are people watching this shit for? You know, corporations that hate you. They don't like you. People are like, oh, change the channel to TPUSA. I'm not watching Bad Bunny. Cut back to the football game. Next commercial is about how everyone hates Jews. I saw the Jew commercial. That came out early. Where people are being mean to Jews and how we got to stop Jew hate. It's like, fuck, why can't we stop white hate? As soon as we, you know, white hate is acceptable. And in that commercial, the assholes are white. I didn't understand that. The cool guy was the black kid. Hey, man, I know how it feels. It's like, if anybody knows how it feels to be shit on the last 10, 20 years, it's white people. But it's everybody, dude. Everyone's a victim nowadays. Everyone's Struggling, dude. Everyone's feeling oppressed. Everyone's a victim. Everybody's oppressed. Well, that's the world we live in. So sports happened, and people care about it. People care about sports. They care about the halftime show. They're defending it. Some people really like that stuff. I don't know why, man. You guys tell me if you're a chat. Why do you like it? Why do you like sports? Why do you like football? Why would you tune in? Maybe if you went to a party and then you're there for the food and the social gathering. The last time I went to a social gathering where there was a football game on, I didn't watch more than 2 minutes of it. I just talked to people the whole time, and I realized I wasn't annoying, but I definitely wasn't there to watch the game. Couldn't give a shit about it. So, sports. What sports next? I don't even know. We got the Olympics. Who gives a shit about the fucking Olympics again? In Utah, we get the Winter Olympics in, what is it, 2032, 2034. That's going to fucking suck. That's going to be awful. Oh, geez. So many people come to Utah, and hopefully it snows. It's only snowed one time this year in Utah, which is interesting to think about. But other than that, dude, I haven't been doing much. I did read the book Rumpelstiltskin recently. I was looking at the title, and I decoded it successfully. We got moon soon. The worst show is the best one you do. What's that mean? I don't even know. Maybe I should read chat. I kind of neglect it at times. What's up, Grand Smart Life? Good to see ya. Can I sit up front? Yes, you can, Fly White Guy. Got a right over here next to this guy. You'll do the worst. I read that. Makes sense because both sides are whack. They are. And I saw some part of I only saw like a 10-second clip of the TP USA halftime show, and there was like a country guy, and he was bitching about transgender people or something. I was like, ugh. Fuck. Just do a halftime show that's not political, please. Just save politics for Monday. You can bitch about transgenders on Monday, dude. What the fuck is Bad Bunny? He's a successful Latin pop artist, I think. The president of Israel is in Australia right now. No way. The president of Israel. Well, Australia, what do they got to do? They got to pay their dues. They probably need to do something for Israel. I like playing sports. Watching it is bread and circus. Yeah, I like sports as well. I like playing it, and watching it, if you play sports, makes sense because you're seeing what's possible. But once you stop playing sports, you're just watching grown men get paid to run around. And sometimes they're lying and cheating and gambling on themselves and forfeiting games and not even trying. It's all not real. What loser is gonna own up to watching sports? I don't know, man. There's a few out there. There's a few out there. I enjoyed abseiling and rock climbing. I don't even know if I call those sports. That's thrill seeking. You got a real taste for adrenaline. Can't help you throw balls. No. What's up, Melaforta? We got slow boy, a whiteboard. But I was reading Rumpelstiltskin. Maybe you guys already know this, but I decoded the title. I was reading the title, I was pronouncing it, Rumpelstiltskin. It's like, oh shit, look. Rump means short. Steal, well, that's obvious. It means to steal, to take something. And skin, what does Rumpelstiltskin do? He's a short guy who steals the skin of a mother. He steals the baby. It's the mother's skin. It's like, wow, man. Felt so smart for about 5 minutes. But I was thinking about that. In the book, Rumpelstiltskin looks like a Jew. It's like, what a timely book right now. I don't know if Epstein kidnapped babies, but he's like a modern-day Rumpelstiltskin. They steal the skin of a baby. How old are these stories? Rumpelstiltskin. How true are they? I was thinking too. Like, there's got this story, Rumpelstiltskin. maybe it's literal, you know what I mean? Maybe people make deals and give their children away. Rapunzel was like that as well. All these stories were like wizards and evil people come in and they make a deal for someone's children. It's like, what the hell's going on with this? Probably still happening today all over the world. In some places you could buy a wife for 20 cows, maybe 10 cows, depends what kind of wife it is. Just give it away. 5 goats, sir, 5 goats. She's my best daughter. 5 goats, 2 cows. But Rumpelstiltskin, he steals the skin of a baby. Of the mother, and it's the baby. But I was thinking in general, what could there be like a metaphor to Rumpelstiltskin? Is there something more to it? And I think like if you make deals, Rumpelstiltskin might be like a metaphor for propaganda or influences outside of your home. I think today it might be like movies, music, other influences that they essentially they take your kid. You know what I mean? Like Hannah Montana, Britney Spears. They take the soul of your child and they replace it with something else. And they take something you made and you created, and then they take the child and they put their own thoughts and their own ideas in it. Then your child becomes something different. I was like, I think that's maybe what a lot of this propaganda is about. Taking children. It's not literally taking children. Maybe it's like taking the essence of them and other things like that. But Rumpelstiltskin, what an interesting book. I was like, why do they make him look like a Jew in this book? So strange. The Rumpelstiltskin book I have, he's a Jew-looking short devil. I wonder if he's always looked like that. I'd have to look at the old pictures of Rumpelstiltskin. Rumpelstiltskin was definitely a hand rubber. Looking at the pictures, I got no other choice but to believe that. But what else have I read? Not a lot, just kids' books. A lot of kids' books. Too many. But outside of that, dude, I read Rumpelstiltskin, decoded the book almost instantly. What else has been going on in my life, dude? Not a lot, dude. Not a lot. I got no stories, nothing interesting. I thought about doing some reaction content, but I kind of gave up on collecting reaction content, which I just realized most of it sucks. I've become detached from reaction content. It's just, I've lost it. But I do have a little bit of a lineup today. Just something interesting. It's like a YouTuber trend. And you can see the trends YouTubers make. I don't follow any of the people I got in these tabs open. But it's interesting. Like YouTubers don't have original ideas. They look at what's being made and then they make their own version of them. It's like, oh, here's my take on that. Here's my take on that. Here's my take on that. I got like 4 tabs up, all the same fucking thing, but different people. And the topic interests me, right? The topic is literacy, and because there was an article in our local news about how Utah's education system is failing its students because literacy rates are declining. The truth is we got 500,000 illegal immigrants in this fucking state, and then all of a sudden they're like, whoa, for some reason our educational system's not working. These kids aren't learning how to read. Go figure. You bring in 500,000 illegal immigrants, and then all of a sudden, guess what? Test scores. All the teachers' time is being spent with Juan, Isabella, Patricia, I don't know their fucking names. And they can't speak a lick of English, and they certainly as fuck can't read English. And so the test scores go down, and the classroom environment is impacted, It's crazy. It's not too hard to figure out why test scores in Utah are not doing as well as they have been. But it's a nationwide trend. You know what I mean? It's all across the nation. People are noticing that kids can't read good anymore. Kids can't read good anymore. Well, we brought in a lot of people who couldn't even fucking speak English, tanking our education system. Anyways, everyone graduates anyways. That's the shitty part about our public education, dude. Everyone just graduates. It's not even hard to graduate anymore. I don't know if it was hard when I graduated, but it felt encumbersome to do all the bullshit, mundane, busy work every fucking day. And now you just show up. You just show up and the teacher's like, well, fill this out and you get a D. Not even going to grade it. Everyone graduates. And who really cares too? Like I was thinking about this. We could watch these videos, maybe. But who really cares if these kids can't read? Doesn't matter. You know what I mean? We need less people in college anyways, dude. The college system's just mind melding so many people into insane belief systems. So I kind of want the education system to fail. I want these kids to not be able to read good. Fuck, what do they need to read good for? They don't need to go to college. They could do landscaping work. They could flip patties. I don't know. They could do some other shit. They don't need to go to college. Let them fail, dude. I don't even want to try to fix the system. Just let it burn, dude. Get your kid out now. Educate them. And all over the state, our state, all over the country, kids are walking out, protesting ICE. Why can't they read good? Because these radicalized teachers are telling these kids they need to protest and go outside and voice their disdain for the government. But Gen Alpha, that's the generation that really can't read. They can't read because they're on tablets all day. When they were kids, just beaming, staring at a screen. They're eating their chicken nuggies, just beaming, watching some, I don't know what the fuck they watch. Bluey? Peppa the Pig? You know what I mean? What? Just beaming. Then they go to school and the teacher's like, here's your Chromebook. We just got it fixed. Please don't stick anything inside of the USB ports that don't belong there. Then they just click, clickety clack, do some more screen time, and then they go home and they play Fortnite, they play Roblox, get ignored by the parents who are also on a screen. Then they go to bed and they do it all over again. Oh, America the Great. America the Great, dude. So yeah, it's, I don't want these kids, I don't want them to read good. I don't want them to have a vocabulary. My kids are going to win. Less competition, the better. You know what I mean? I see some absolute icons, legends, royalty in the chat, and they say words are overrated anyways. They are. I don't want anybody talking to me to have a high verbosity, a deep lexicon. I don't want them to use words I can't understand. I'm in a position now to use words other people don't understand, and I want to stay there. I don't want to be talked shit to by a highly intelligent, basically a ChatGPT dictionary. That would suck. I like, it's nice knowing that Gen Alpha won't ever speak as good as me or have my vocabulary, which isn't much, but it's something compared to what some of these children have, some of these kids. But I'm happy, people would say, like, school sucks. What do they need education for? They could just watch a fucking YouTube video about anything and learn about it. Like, you don't need to read a YouTube video. You just need to watch it. What are these kids trying to learn? How to bake a cake. There's probably a YouTube video about how to repair a lawnmower. What the hell you need to read a book for? Instruction manuals are just pictures anyway. Every instruction manual is just a IKEA pictures. There's no words. The words that are there you probably should read because it's like only tighten 80% of the way, and that's important. So if you tighten it 100%, you're not going to be able to build it correctly. But they could read that with fourth grade reading level. Tighten 80%. They might not even know what 80% means, but they'll figure it out. Kid equals baby goat. That's right. Kid does equal baby goat. I read somewhere that the British royals, they have a rule with their nanny that their nanny wasn't allowed to call their children kids. So the nanny was only allowed to refer to their children as children, and they were never allowed to use the word kid, because kid is demeaning or some bullshit like that. Maybe they were thinking that kid means baby goat. I'm not verbose. I'm Australian. Tell everyone we're all fucked. I believe it, dude. We're right there with you. What's up, Salted Cedar? Saw a short of this rich dad complaining that his daughter wasn't getting attention from a teacher at a preschool. Ooh. That's his first mistake, sending his kid to preschool. Preschool. That's not even school. That's daycare, dude. I can't believe they even call preschool school. It ain't school. It's just daycare. Fuck. So yeah, I got 4 of these videos. They're all the same. Every one of these is saved. Here's the first one. Are they? What are these? Are they all the same? Jordan.
The literacy crisis.
Ooh, that's so loud.
Some of the ideas and
So we got 4 of them. We'll start with this one. We won't watch all of this. It's just I'm just trying to make a point here.
I did not realize how bad the iPad kid epidemic was until yesterday.
Yeah, I just subbed a 5th grade class, and as someone with a lot of experience in the classroom and a lot of experience in reading, I just want you to know.
Oh, geez, that sounds crazy. With a lot of substitute teachers, so maybe high school education. A lot of experience in reading. Okay, I don't know if I believe that shit.
We should be really afraid about the future of our society.
A heads up for parents. Kids are falling farther behind on test scores, and more kids are failing to show up for school, according to figures out this morning.
We have no teacher.
Who wants to go to school where everybody, I went to school and everybody was the same culture as me, same homogenous group, same religion. Now you go to school, it's like you got Omar, you got Miguel, you got, I don't know any Somali names, but throw a Somali name out there. And you got Lin from China. There's no cohesive nature in school, no community, and they're failing because it's just so crazy that they're blaming the educational system while we brought in millions of illegal immigrants. And now we're all looking around saying like, oh, these kids aren't doing good in school. What's happening? Why aren't these kids doing good? Fucking retarded. But they'll never tell you that. They'll never tell you the reason they're not doing good is because most of these fucking people don't even speak English. They don't even speak English when they got here. They're coming here, maybe they're 5 years old, maybe they're 8 years old. Fuck, maybe some of them are 10. You're 10 years old, you don't speak a lick of English. Why even show up? Why even go to school? Fuck, stupid.
At our schools. Can you believe that?
The Educators are a suite of AI-powered apps that gamify lessons, monitor progress.
So it's the middle of the school year, and we are again seeing a trend in teachers quitting their jobs mid-year. And I can't blame them. Teachers are some of the most...
That's enough of her. It's like, get a different microphone. Boring. So that's one video. This lady talking about this epidemic or whatever. And this was 5 days ago she made this video. Okay, 5 days ago. Then we got this guy. This guy's legit as fuck, as you could tell. Jordan Kang. He made this video 9 days ago.
So I've come to the grim realization that people don't read anymore. Many children and adults stopped reading for pleasure. 40% of grade 4s can't read at a basic level.
Anyone surprised the Asian just brought in statistics immediately? Immediately to the stats, dude. This guy's smart. I like it. Blame the Scantrons. Scantrons suck, yeah. Standardized testing is awful. Why don't people look after their kids anymore? Well, there's lots of reasons for that. I think it's, of course, you could go individual by individual basis, but most parents are forced to wage slave, both of them, to maintain any sense of reasonable income for a household with multiple children. And then when they're done working all day, they want to take a load off, and so they give their kid a screen. Basically, that's it.
Level, and 28% of adults scored at or below level 1 literacy on the PIAC survey, which means they're effectively functionally illiterate. And we're seeing it on full display as 24-year-old popular streamer Kai Cenat struggles with 8th grade level words.
Spontaneity. How do I pronounce that? Spontaneity. Oftentimes when I don't know what a word is pronounced, I get to look at how it's pronounced and what it even means. Spontaneity.
And I bring up Kai as an example to showcase something I've been noticing. Over the past few years, I feel like there's long been a culture that discourages literacy and curiosity. Phrases like, oh, it's not that deep, bro, or you're being performative, or I'm not reading all that, have become common in today's
Whoa. I say I'm not reading all that all the time, dude.
vernacular. And while I get some people say these things as jokes, I wanted to make this video to stress the importance of literacy and why it matters. Take a listen to this audio.
Guide dogs lead very interesting lives.
No thanks, dude. Anyways, there's one example. And then, YouTubers are just doing... Here's this guy. He made this video 3 weeks ago. So, it's a popular topic on YouTube, I suppose.
This is ruining everything and making things so miserable. It is everywhere you turn.
Kids do not know how to actually physically read a book. Kids do not know how to write in class.
Reading proficiency for U.S. fourth graders hit its record low last year, and implications for this are really vast.
20 years into teaching.
Reminder, record low last year. We brought in, 10+ million illegal immigrants? No wonder the scores tanked.
And honestly, the students' abilities get lower every single year.
I'm genuinely terrified for this next generation of children.
We should not just be sticking an iPad in front of a kid or a cell phone. That's not okay.
I don't know if you're aware, but right now we're in the middle of the fastest literacy decline we've ever seen. And
Or could it be we brought in 10 million people who somehow we forced them into our educational system? Is that possible? Is it possible everyone's like, oh no, kids can't read anymore? I think the majority of core American children are probably fine. But the 10 million plus and their children we brought in, I think they're struggling a little bit. Tanking our scores.
Actually, I wasn't aware how insane and damaging this was to our society until pretty recently. Just for reference, in 1870, the same time we were letting kids work in factories and abusing child labor, the literacy rate was 11.5%, meaning that 88.5% of adults could read. Then in 1979, after years of advancement in technology, the literacy rate was 0.4%. So 99.6% of adults could read. At that point in time, it was the highest our literacy rates have ever been. It's pretty cool. But fast forward to now, 21% of adults in the US are considered illiterate or functionally illiterate. So really the only conclusion that I can draw from that is that we need to put kids back in factories, because what is going on?
I know it's an unpopular opinion, but hear me out on this one. Our society would benefit enormously.
I don't want anyone to ever bring in this guy as like a talking point. I don't want to be talked to by some demonic furry dragon avatar person. Get out of my screen. Ugh. Who thought that was a good idea? Anyways, here's another one. This person made this video 4 months ago. So I did really soon. Was it 3 days ago to now 4 months ago? This topic has been really talked about. People are noticing.
Some of the ideas and information that will be presented throughout this video come from a Substack essay titled The Dawn of the Post-Literate Society by James Marriott.
This one's not even really on topic, I'll be honest with you. Breaking out, we are now seeing the opposite. Anyways, this guy's way too academic for me. But you get the point, dude. People are making lots of videos about this problem. Tons of them. Where is it? Is there another one? Did I have one more? High schoolers can't read. AI is slowly destroying your brain. So those are that's the topic I have for you, folks. That's the topic, dude. People can't read. They're blaming everybody. Test scores are dropping. And nobody, not one of them, not one of the things I ever saw was addressing the elephant in the room of bringing in millions and millions of people into America who don't speak English, don't understand English or anything about English. And then we give them tests in English, and all of a sudden they can't do well on those tests, and all of a sudden we have an academic crisis. I think there really is an academic crisis, but there always has to be one in our educational system. If our educational system worked, we might stop funding it. But the educational system in America is so corrupt. It's so it's just a bad thing, to put it simply. And they get most of our tax dollars. And they can never figure it out. For how long we've been educating Americans to still be trying to figure out how the educational system works tells you they don't want it to work. Because if it did work, they'd stop funding it. But they need more bureaucrats. They need more test takers. They need more kids in college so we can get a larger population of society into the debt wage slave class. It's a huge business. And they don't want it to work, because if it worked, then kids might come out of high school financially literate, first of all. They might come out, in some sense, with some entrepreneurial, whatever that word is, skills. They might be driven to start their own business. They might be capable of fixing some problems in their own life. Maybe it's a plumbing problem, maybe an electrical problem. Who knows? But they don't want the system to work. And it's good that, they say it's failing. Well, guess what that means? More tax dollars for it. That's what that means. They need more money to fix this massive problem. And you know what they're going to do? They're going to create a new system. And the new system is going to be an AI, computer-based, evidence-based approach. And it's all going to be bullshit. Meanwhile, they're saying simultaneously, kids are on screens too much. They're on iPads too much. But well, in order to do our evidence-based research and learning approaches, your kid needs a Chromebook, because that's how we track their progress. So your kid needs quite a bit of screen time in the class, even though we all agree screen time is a problem. Because we really don't want the teachers keeping track of all this stuff with pen and paper. It's just a big mess. Filing cabinets, storage. It's just much easier if the kids work on the computer, the scores go to the teacher's computer, and then they can just print out a report and hand it to their parents and just say, look, well, here's where they're not doing good. But yeah, the educational system sucks, dude. College system sucks. Top to bottom, it sucks. All of it sucks. No surprise there. Why do these random ladies feel they need to report on this topic? Are they all getting paid? Maybe they are. They could be. What's up, Sam High? Snow, good to see you. 21% is crazy. Yeah, 21% of people can't read good. It's bad. It's politically incorrect to blame anyone for lack of literacy. I think you could blame people. Who wants to be it's politically incorrect. I want to be politically incorrect most of the time. Comparison, state, education, or federal. I don't know what you're asking me. Debt wage slave class. I'm going to have to remember that one. Grr, so true. Yeah, it's true. That's how they want the system to work. So, education's a big deal. Whatever. That's my topic. That's what I was thinking about. But most kids can't even write, too. I was walking through my kid's school, and I was looking at I feel bad judging, because kids are just trying to do their best, whatever, right? But I'm looking at some second grade and third graders' work on the wall. I was like, holy shit. These kids can't write. I swear I remember learning cursive a little bit and, getting a nice little flow there a little bit in my writing. I was like, oh, it doesn't look awful. It's starting to look nice towards second and third grade, but now they don't even do cursive. So kids are still trying to figure out how all I don't understand it, but they don't write anymore. Then they go to computer class and I don't know what they do. They type like this with their fingers. But writing's important. But, writing's how we learn, but we don't really write anymore. Kids are just being taught to, here, write an essay on your Chromebook. They should write in pencil and paper. That's how it should be done. But whatever, dude. The megalithic technological corporations, whatever you want to call it, they need their data, and they're just data mining all the children in our educational system and feeding it into their AI monster and tracking these kids for the rest of their lives. That's what's crazy about it, you know what I mean? just the idea that these kids and the data that's being tracked on them is pretty much since they're 5 years old or younger if they got a Chrome tablet or any tablet, just continuously tracked, and the AI just is learning so much about them. I feel like AI still has to guess a few things about me. You know what I mean? Maybe it has to guess. But kids growing up today, the AI doesn't need to guess. It knows everything about these kids. And the school system's just feeding these, feeding, what do they call it? The Apple, Google, Windows, just feeding these corporations all their data. And feeding, I would imagine, other things too. So, it's bothersome. It's bothersome too because you got to pay taxes for it. You got to pay taxes for something that's broken, not intended to work correctly, and just overall makes society worse off. I'd like to get back to child labor. Children should be working in general. That way, if children got back to work, dude, we really wouldn't need any illegal immigrants. Just think about that for a moment. You sign your kid up for a school work program. They still go to school, but you know what? The local farms, they need someone to pick the strawberries. So your kid's class, every Monday, they're selected to go pick the strawberries. And then on Tuesday, the second graders go pick strawberries. Then on Thursday, the fourth graders pick strawberries, so on and so forth. Make child labor great again. Make it educational, first and foremost. Make child labor great again. Make it educational. Put all the kids back to work. Dude, send the illegal immigrants back. We're hurting our own country by not letting children work and gain real life experience. This idea that kids need to be protected from work when they're being told their whole life to think about what they want to do for a career. But just think about it. We can't actually let you get a job. You can only think about it. Imagine what it would be like to be what you want. But it's against the rules to really let you work, even though you can do it. You can do the work, but they won't let us. You got to learn about. You got to learn how to spell. You got to learn how to. What do you got to learn about? You got to learn about the Holocaust. That's why you got to go to school tomorrow. You got a whole. You're watching a movie. You're watching Schindler's List or whatever. So you don't want to miss that. You don't want real life experience. Crazy. If we brought back child labor laws, dude, all of our problems would be fixed overnight. Overnight. We get people grateful for their job too. Imagine like a 14-year-old working at Wendy's getting a paycheck. That kid's probably stoked, wants to do the work. He's not some pissed off 40-year-old who doesn't want that job, is miserable. Put people back to work that should be working, who want to work, who want the paycheck, who will appreciate a minimum wage paycheck. That's what teenagers are for. Teenagers are there to appreciate minimum wage paychecks, not adults. To be fair, I only use a pen to write my signature. That's fine. Apparently there was an ad in the Super Bowl. Some company said, we can find your lost dog through your doorbell. Ooh. Uses AI facial recognition. Yeah, they're watching everything, man. They're watching everything. We'll find your lost dog. My dog ain't getting lost first and foremost. People who lose their dog should never have a dog. You lose a cat or you lose a dog, that's God letting you know it was never really in your cards to have one. You can't believe people lose dogs or pets or cats. Now, if you lose a lizard or a snake, that's also God telling you probably shouldn't have it. But those are easier to lose on some level. You know what I mean? They slither, they crawl, they get into tight corners. They're silent. They're silent creatures. You don't really hear them at all. So that makes sense if you lose one of those. But losing a dog, how do you lose a damn dog, dude? What? It makes no sense to me. Ran out the door. You chased the dog. How does the dog escape? I don't know. Yeah, I mean, people who lose a cat, that makes sense. Losing a cat makes sense because they don't even want to be domesticated, first and foremost. Pro Fresh, parents shouldn't let their kids get a job. They should force them to live in an RV, live stream on YouTube all day. That is a good business plan, Daninsky. I'm Australian. What's your point? My point. I don't think I was talking rude to you. Somebody else talking to you? Sorry if I came across I don't think I said anything towards your general direction of the southern hemisphere. But, yeah, anyways, to your point, AI, demonic. And the AI system or whatever they're using to track everyone. If they can find your dog, dude, they know where you are at all times. They know where you are at all times. Can't really get away anymore. Get off grid. Not possible. Where are we at? 45 minutes? Do you have any other talking points? I saw like these I saw a couple like anti-white statements, which are, they're interesting to me. The anti-white, it's been something I talked about briefly before. But this guy.
I have the distinct honor to be able to come before you and say I actually lost white population in my community. I lost them.
Woohoo! Imagine if white people did that. Some white congressman was coming up. I have the distinct honor of letting you know we got all the blacks left. All the blacks, they went somewhere else, and everyone starts cheering. Woohoo! Snapping their fingers. Yeah, the blacks are gone. Woohoo!
They left. I didn't ask them why. They left. So if you see 1 or 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 whites in my neighborhood, they're passing through. But that's on a serious note. We got 13,000 black.
Oh, man. Look at this congressman with an African pin. They don't like white people. They don't like us. You know what I mean? And then for you to say you don't like them, all of a sudden there's a problem. Somehow there's a problem. They cheer. They cheer when you leave and you get out of their area. And then they're upset at you if you don't want them in your area. They're like, well, you're racist. You don't like diversity? It's like, fuck. They want a homogenous, I guess, all-black neighborhood, dude. But if you want a homogenous, all-white neighborhood, we got a real fucking problem on our hands, guys. We got a real fucking problem. But it's just, it's just baffling, really. Still, modern day, dude. Modern day world we live in. And we got this Asian guy telling other people, dude, whites are the problem.
I always tell people the day the Latino, African American, Asian, and other communities realize that they share the same oppressor is the day we start winning.
As soon as these people realize that the white people are the bad guys, we're all going to start winning. We're going to win because we're going to start oppressing the white people. We're going to start putting white people in their position. This is how crazy the world we live in. It's like just explicitly anti-white. And if any white person says anything remotely close to being xenophobic, bigoted, racist, it's like all hands on deck, condemn the whitey, isolate them, ostracize them, cancel them. Meanwhile, everybody else is like, dude, how do we get rid of these fucking white people? And you hear a round of applause, you hear cheers, and woohoo, that's right, get rid of whitey. Just insane. It's insane. And I don't know why white people, you got the white guilt that fills up a lot of these white people, and they'll stand there and be like, yes, we are oppressors. I'm doing my part as an ally to stop my oppression. Got other just white bystanders who don't do anything, don't say anything about it, all complicit. And who's responsible for this 9/11 demolition style of the white race? I don't know who's responsible, but there's a few guesses.
Because we are the majority in this country now. We have the ability to take over this country and to do what is needed for everyone and to make things fair. But the problem is our communities are divided.
We need to make things fair. What the fuck is this guy talking about? They're the majority. You know what I mean? They need to make things fair. It's crazy. Anti-white propaganda is just like, whoa, dude. It's in your face. And if you talk about it, you're a racist or whatever the fuck they're gonna call you. So that's some of my reaction content. That's the world we live in. That's the world we live in, dude. And if you're like too pro-white too, then it's like kind of off-putting. It's like, dude, relax. We don't need to go full Nazi over here, dude. It's it's like impossible to get like a cohesive unification of white people because there's just too many retards, too many extremists who go all the way and like, you know what, white people are the best. We need to get rid of everyone. You're like, whoa, buddy, slow down. It's not what I'm talking about. We just need a homogenous culture. That's all. We don't need to go Genghis Khan on the fucking world. It's unbelievable. People who say they want to make things fair are usually the ones who do the opposite. Yeah, how do you make things fair? Who cares what the virtue signaling weirdo normies think? That's a very fair point. I'll stop simping when you give me free mustache wax. Who's simping over here? Who's simple? Then what is that thing sitting next to him? I don't know. You guys are... We got Rich 33333 in the building. But yeah, it's a fun world. In Utah, you know, people will say, Provo talks too much about illegal immigrants. He talks too much about that. Yeah, it just sucks because... Here's a go. It sucks because, you know, the fabric of my state has been slowly unwoven, torn apart, and shredded, literally. And I'm bothered by it, right? Just frankly bothered by the slow, decaying, entropic, entropy, are those the same words? Decay of my state. And you know, here's another example. Gang activity involving juveniles is becoming a growing public safety concern. Why is that? Like, oh, we got an education problem. We got a gang problem. We got all these problems. Utah had, on some level, just minimal. These were minimal problems. They weren't growing. They were just, you know, they were there. We knew about them, and we took care of them as best we could. But now, these problems are festering. They're growing. Why is that? People are racking their head. Why is this happening? Well, we got 500,000 illegal immigrants here. We got people who do not belong, not only in our country, but in our fucking state. And they bring their culture, they bring their values, and their way of life. And that's why we have rising gang activity. And meanwhile, fucking idiots protesting, you know, don't kick these people out. Juan and Miguel, they need to stay here. Keep them here. We also enjoy our gang activity. Ugh. It's crazy how like Utahns can't see all the problems that have come to our state. And they just accept the problems. Like they want to be Detroit. They want to be New York. You know what I mean? I don't know why they don't want what Utah used to be, a safe, pleasant, welcoming place for the most part. Absolutely. Now you go to Salt Lake City, you got to be careful. You got to step over homeless people. You got to watch out for needles on the street. You got to watch out for people who might stab you. You got to watch out for gang shootings. You know, it's a completely it's changing so fast. And they like it. I don't know what the fuck they think this shit is. Or where it came from. Like, I don't know how this got here. Came from all the illegal immigrants. That's where the fuck it came from. That's why our test scores are dropping. Our schools aren't doing as well. And then, so because all of this is happening, what does the state need? Because of all these fucking new problems, what does the state need? More resources. The state of Utah needs more resources to handle all these problems. So what are they going to do to us? Tax the shit out of us. And people are like, yeah, we do need to solve this problem. Increase my property tax, check. Increase the sales tax, check. Fuck, we're all Democrats now. Solve these problems, but keep all the problems here. Bro, the people bringing in the savages don't live in the areas they ruin. That's true. That's pretty true, Ollie. But Utah does have a strong refugee program, right? And we got to blame the Catholic Church. The Catholic Church is also bringing, the Catholic Church is bringing a lot of these refugees here. Legal immigrants are being brought through different means and avenues. But Utah has its own problem that's kind of like we're doing it to ourselves a little bit. Because some of these Mormons are like, well, we're going to convert these new immigrants. We're going to bring them to the Church of Jesus Christ, Latter-day Saints. It's like, that's not what we want. But they think they can convert them, I think. I think that's one idea some of these Mormon leaders have is like, we'll convert them, brothers and sisters. We'll bring them over to the church. They ain't going to fucking happen. Think these Mexican Catholics are going to become Mormon? That's so crazy. But, you know, that's modern day problems. Where was another one? Utah. Where was it? There was, I was going to play this clip, but now I'm having trouble finding it. This is a good example of what I'm talking about illegals coming to Utah. You're like, bro, you're talking about this too much. Yeah, because it's a real fucking problem, all right? It's a real fucking problem. So here we have a graph. If you can't read the graph, domestic migration, that's red. International migration, that's green. Natural increase, that's us Mormons. Just producing at the typical rates we produce at, all right? Just not too bad. So if you look at the graph here, folks, in 2024, 2023, 2022, look at all that international migration. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. How does that even happen? And then the red right there, the red 2021, that's all the people leaving California. So we got a huge influx of Democrats. Democrats move in here. They start bringing in the international refugees, and then the Democrats slow down because pandemic's over. They're not fleeing anymore, 2023. And then we just get tons and tons and tons more international refugees. Like I said, we got 500,000 illegal, at least 500,000 illegal immigrants here. So, you know, fucked. How do you get these people out? They're not going. You know what I mean? I don't think ICE is going to kick all those people out somehow. It's a pipe dream. Utah's just stuck with it. Then here's this guy. You know, of course, when you bring people into our country, into our state, they can't drive worth shit. A lot of them can't drive worth shit. And people in Utah are noticing that. Check this guy out.
That all of our road signs in Utah are in English, and we require our driver's privilege card to be taken in English for that purpose. There's a reason why, if you look at the statewide statistics on car crashes in Utah for the last 5 years, they've been going down pretty dramatically over time. Yet, the number of those crashes that are caused by unlicensed drivers has increased 5-fold in that same time period. And when we pull out some of the stats, last year we had some conversation or questions about whether or not this was a bill focused on one jurisdiction because of the large number of issues in that area. And I just want to point out a couple of pieces of information we were able to gather from several law enforcement agencies, going as far north as Layton and Clearfield, down to St. George, Highway Patrol, that we had, even in small like Clearfield PD, you know, in a 9-month period, had 14 car crashes from unlicensed drivers. Layton with 262 car crashes. St. George PD with 91 car crashes and almost 700 citations that would have normally been issued in those circumstances. Even in...
So what's the point of this? The point of this is that, you know, these people don't just annoy me. They're actually like a threat to my life and other people's lives because they can't drive worth shit and they're crashing into people. They don't have... You think these people have insurance if they don't have a license? Of course not, dude. Think about it. Think about it. And people want them here. They want them here. They want unlicensed drivers, and then their answer is, well, we got to get these people licenses. No. That's not what we need to do. They can't drive. So they're on our roads. They're harming us. They're hurting us, even killing some people on our roads.
The University of Utah Police Department had a handful of unlicensed drivers that they had also dealt with crashes. Utah Highway Patrol last year had 8 fatalities
8.
and 42 hit and runs. And in the in 2024, and in the 9 months of data collection in 2025, we had 3 fatalities and 18 hit and runs, all from unlicensed drivers. This is an issue that we tried to tackle.
Illegal immigrants, by the way, almost all of them. I bet, you know, who's unlicensed?
Last year, provide some tools. We weren't able to do it. And partly because of these lacks of tools, there continues to be an increase in car crashes, in hit and runs, in DUIs, and in fatalities in this category. This isn't just about the inconveniences that it causes for people that have trouble following the law. There are also some valid and real concerns when it comes to safety for children in school zones, as it was mentioned, or our workers that are in construction zones, or just the average.
We get it. So anyways, that's Utah. That's Utah for you, dude. It gets worse. This lady will tell you. Who's this lady? She looks pissed off.
Part of this bill, this has been a multi-year process and a very important process. And as I'm sure most of you are aware, a disproportionate amount in some jurisdictions of hit and run accidents that are later identified are from non-citizens who are driving without a driving credential in our state. Now, as a Utah citizen or a citizen of the United States, if you're driving on the roads and
I just hate that they call them non-citizen. A non-citizen. Someone who shouldn't fucking be here.
you don't have a driving credential, it's very likely that you could be arrested, that you could be detained, or that you could be cited because you don't have a driver credential. This is trying to get at that same issue for individuals who are not from our beloved country, who also do not have the training and understand the laws, maybe even understand the signs on the road. As one jurisdiction told us that there was a disproportionate number of individuals without a driving credential who are non-citizens speeding through school zones. It's very important.
Speeding through school zones. Keep them here. Kick ICE out. I want people speeding through my children's school zone. God, the left disgusts me.
That people get the driving credential, that they take the test, that they learn to understand what our signs mean.
Oh, no, this bitch is about helping them. We need to help these people. Get them out. Honestly, get them out of the country. I don't want to teach them how to drive here. Hey, we need some more taxpayer dollars to help these illegal immigrants. We need somebody to translate this shit for them.
So that they can drive safely on our roads and keep Utahns safe and keep other non-citizens safe who are driving on the roads with credentials. So in Utah right now, there are estimated to be about 500,000 non-citizens, and only about 33,500 of them have the driving privilege card.
500,000 non-citizens, illegal aliens, 500,000, and only 33,000 have a driver's license. What? How are all the other ones going to work if they're old enough to work? What are these people doing? They're not following the laws. They're not following the rules. Go figure. They broke the rules to get here. And then we're all wondering, why aren't these people following the rules? We got rules here. You're supposed to have a driver's license. Why aren't these guys following the rules? There's a speed limit rule. There's a rule that says you can't drink and drive. There's a rule that says, school zone, 25 miles per hour. There's another rule they don't know how to follow. If they don't follow the first rule, which is come here legally, what fucking makes you think they're going to follow any other rules after? These people are so brain dead.
I think a lot more will get the driving privilege card if we create statute around this that says it's really important.
We want to give them a driving privilege card. It's over for Utah. It's so over.
Not just go get it if you want to, but drive on our roads if you want to, and nothing's going to happen. This is very important that we have some teeth in the statute to say, if you do not have a driving privilege card, we intend to protect all the other people on the road who do. Thank you.
Yeah, we should deport their ass. Fucking insane, dude. It's a big topic in Utah. Yeah, quite simply it is. What's this? Anyways, you know, I wonder how every other state is going. I can't imagine other states are doing too well. If a conservative state like Utah is where it's at, it's can't be looking good if you're anywhere else. I mean, in Utah, we got the rhinos, Republican in name only people. That they're really a problem here. Fake ass Republicans. I thought this was interesting. You know, I've been wondering what happened to Jordan Peterson. I don't know if you guys keep tabs on him, but quick update. Let me read the chat real quick. The migrants are used as agents of change for the Great Replacement. That's correct. Unlicensed drivers, aka Indians. A lot of the time, probably. It don't look good for right to travel folks. No, but it's going to be easier for them to get a privileged driving card or whatever the hell they call it. I live in Australia's capital. You'd be amazed how people drive here. Oof. Get out of the way, you cunt. That's probably what they say a lot of the time. Traders, indeed. They can't read or write English, and they don't have to go through CDL certification to drive a truck. Scary. The diplomatic corps have DC in their plates. We call them dumb cunts. There you go. And if they do something nasty, well, we can't charge them. That's crazy. The MLK manic libtard Karens. Too many of them. This lady doesn't grasp the situation. You don't make illegals' lives easier. You make it extremely difficult so they leave. Yeah. Jordan Peterson. Well, I've been curious about the guy. I wanted a quick update. Luckily, his daughter, Michaela Peterson, whose eyes look to be somewhat possessed. I can't quite tell. I see a woman's eyes that are the way hers are. I get a bit skeptical.
I don't know. A lot of me thinks there's a huge spiritual element at play with like Dennis Prager being paralyzed and then Charlie Kirk. So I know that was a bit disjointed and everything. And I think mold is at the bottom of our like autoimmunity and psych issues that we've been dealing with for like, my entire life. But I think there's a large spiritual element at play too. Wow. I think a lot of people have been feeling that, in the last.
Oh, she just had to blame mold. I think mold's been a big problem. Damn, mold is a huge problem. You got to take care of mold.
Number of months.
I mean, that's an extraordinary thing you've just said. When you believe, what spiritual thing do you think could be going on?
Honestly, and I would have just scoffed at myself years ago for saying this, but there's this resurgence of Christianity. I don't know if you thought this was where we were going with this talk, but there's been this huge resurgence of Christianity in America. And I think, and I believe that, and so I think there's a demonic element at play that's hitting people, to be perfectly blunt.
And a couple years ago, I said this lady is crazy, but you know what? I think she's exactly right, dude. These fucking demons, they're all over, dude. The demons are all over. They're in play everywhere. They're all over. They're in play. They're in play in the books, the movies, the propaganda. Anything on the internet probably is a demon running through the circuit boards and coming out of the blue light, possessing people for moments and time periods, dude, inhabiting their body.
Now, I also think mold is what's making us sick, but I don't know. Something's going on in the world now, and I think
mold is making people sick. You know what? I think she's right about that, dude. I think mold's a big problem. I don't know how big of a problem it is in other people's lives, but yeah, mold isn't good. Let's just be honest about that. And demons and mold are a real problem we face today.
A lot of people can feel it.
You genuinely think this is the work of the devil?
You know what? It's too coincidental to not be. I think it was C.S. Lewis that talked about synchronicities, and that's how you can kind of identify God by like too many coincidences. But throughout my entire life, I have seen that. But this summer has been brutal. Like, what are the chances of my dad being hospitalized and then my newborn being hospitalized for turning blue? It's not like I just randomly brought her to the hospital within a 3-hour time period randomly. Like, it's just it's been too much. So that's where I'm at now, which is why I went on YouTube and asked for prayers.
Nice.
It's that because there's been no like definitive diagnosis other than SIRS, which is a legitimate problem and disease, but dad is getting hit so hard.
Why does his dad just say my father? Jordan Peterson, dad.
And then with everything that could go wrong has gone wrong, although things seem to be turning around now. But
anyways, there's your update. Demons and mold. So if you got a chance, go through your house and clean out any mold. People would say don't use Clorox, but I think Clorox is just fine temporarily to get rid of mold. Just for a moment. Just for a moment, it is. But you know, it's just weird. Like all these talking heads. I bring that up because then you get like Candace Owens over here.
Charlie and I spoke a lot about his third eye. That's why that sentence caught my attention in the article.
Mm-hmm.
Spoke about the street lamps that would go off when he would run.
Street lamps.
About the special school that he had to go to. We spoke about a lot of the things that were strange in our childhood, the testing that both of us had to endure. We spoke about the fact that we could both astral project. You know all of this, of course. You have his phone. And how surprised we were when we learned that not everybody does that naturally. Sleep paralysis, you name it. We had conversations about it.
I feel like Candace Owens is the type of person too, when someone brings something up, like, yeah, I can astral project. She's like, oh, I can too. I could do that. So we got astral projection. We got Michaela Peterson talking demons. We got third eye stuff. You know, the world's just, on some sense, I think it's always kind of been woo-woo in different times, in different places. But just the openness. And then the third eye thing, this is Erica Kirk was talking about, well, Candace Owens said lights would flicker when Charlie Kirk, rest in peace, would go on runs.
It'll be a sign for you to know that Charlie's with you in something. When we first started dating, we were walking to dinner one night, and this happened a lot. The lights would start to flicker.
Whoa.
And he'd look up at the light and be like, you know, it's so weird. This happens to me a lot. And I was like, really? And he's like, yeah. So our whole dating and whole marriage, anytime we'd be in a room and a light started to flicker, he would just look at me and wink. It was like our little thing.
It's power.
It's a total frequency thing. And so the night everything happened when we were in Utah.
Nah, that's enough. That confirms it. But anyways, Candace Owens said it. Erica confirmed it. Charlie Kirk caused lights to flicker. I think that's pretty amazing. Pretty cool stuff. Could have been a demon following him the whole time, though. Like, no, let's not say God was causing these flicker of lights. Could have been like some demon. That's always like on Charlie Kirk's case. Could have been anything. You know, the world's strange, dude. And I go through my day-to-day life, and so does everybody else. And sometimes you forget, dude. It's a lot harder to forget now because of the Epstein stuff, and people are in positions of high power, and just how weird the elites are. This clip, though, dude, is to me, you know, like I've been to liturgy, as they say. Been to liturgy where the people kiss the bishop's hand, and I get it, tradition. But this, you know, this is just strange. Kiss. No kiss.
الملكي التي تؤدي سموه التحية الرسمية ويتقدم السلام على سموه وزير.
I don't want to listen to that. Nice handshakes, nice conversations. Talks to people if they shake his hand. And if they try to kiss it. But so then my question becomes here is like, so, all right, you're watching this. You've already seen that he doesn't want his hand kissed. Goes for it anyways. Goes for it. 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 Doesn't go for it. I just want to understand culturally, like, what are these people doing and why do they try to do it? What is it? He's obviously saying he doesn't want it done. They still go for it. Go for it. Oh, no, he just wanted the handshake. Anyway, it's just strange. That's the king of Morocco or whatever. People are nuts. People are absolutely crazy. I just would have shaken his hand. I don't know if you get special powers if you kiss it. Oh, man. He's a 22-year-old crown prince. Interesting. People trying to kiss his hand. Boo. I don't like it. That's basically all the reaction content I have. So I have a longer video.
There is a trope.
I have a longer one. I really just don't have the patience to sit through this stuff. This guy, he's talking about. This is a Christian video. This guy's going to talk about Christians and kindness. Let's check out with the chat real quick. Check in with the crowd. If anyone was tested for gifted classes, you remember the GATE program. I think I got skipped over for that, dude. I wasn't in any special class. I wish I would. I wish I could make false memories. Candace Owens, probably somebody who's like, oh, yeah. I was in that class. I'm very special. Political religion turning this guy into a prophet, trapping people in the spectacle. Yes. Erica Kirk is about as authentic as Campbell's soup. Campbell's soup, I can't remember the last time I had it. Flicker, like Linkin Park. EBD says, LOL, WDF. They end up smacking their own faces. They do. These people are nuts. So I don't know if I'll watch this clip. I wish I had cooler content. I'm really not interested in this stuff right now. This guy's going to talk about how Christians, was it immigration and tolerance. Christians are not called to be nice. They're not called to be nice. Oh well. It's a long video, and I don't feel like doing that right now. Just give my own point. I don't think it sucks, dude. I've been taking a break from doom scrolling. Try to put the phone down and tell myself like most of the content sucks. Why do I want to save it? Why do I want to react to it? And which hurts the show. I realize like I run out of monologue, I run out of reaction content, and then by the end of it, I'm like, well, I don't know what to do now. I don't know really what to do with the show anymore because I can't just monologue. I could, but I'd like to react to things. But I'm not a miner anymore. I don't want to scroll through social media all day or some of the day or even part of the day to find things. It doesn't feel rewarding, especially when a lot of the clips I find are 30-second clips, 20-second clips, minute clips. And I don't really have the attention span to sit through a 20-minute video or a 30-minute video. And I think part of that's because I stand. When you stand, it's a lot different than sitting. If you're sitting, you can just relax, sit back, and like watch a video play. But I'm standing here. Dude. I don't want to stand and watch a 20-minute video. Like I'm in a waiting room at a dentist's office and they got the TV on and I'm in a long line and I just got to stand here and wait. Don't like it. Don't like the stand and watching. Maybe I should incorporate a chair, change the routine a bit. But I look down on sitting streamers. It's too comfortable for me. I like being a little bit uncomfortable. I got to figure this out. Dude, what the hell am I going to do? Because there's points like at this part of the stream, like I'd like to continue, like to keep going, but I'm out of content. I don't know what to fucking tell you. I got a couple things here, a couple things there, nothing I really care about. Got the chat. You guys are amazing. Find something that works for you, dude. I should. It's good advice. But what does work for me? I don't know. I need maybe like a bar stool I could sit on. Just comfortable but uncomfortable enough, I prefer to shake a man's wiping hand. That's amazing. Some say left-handed handshake would be disrespectful. Yes, it would be disrespectful. I was gifted detentions all the time. That makes sense. What about squatting? No, I can't squat. This is a standing desk. If I squat down here, you can't even see me, dude. The desk is too damn high. What the hell? Squat. What kind of is... It's funny. Funny person. What is this? I mean, I was gonna save this commercial. It's stupid. The Olympic things I saved all got taken down. These are the people I hate in Utah, man. This is in my neighborhood. Literally. You know, just ugh. I hate all of these people. Yeah, you know, hate's not a very nice thing to say. I dislike them. I dislike them quite a bit. Freaking theater kids. Jesus was a refugee. Was he? Was Jesus a refugee? I don't think he was, folks. I don't think he was. Ew, dude. These are my neighbors. These are my neighbors, dude. People in my neighborhood. Can't stand them one bit, dude. Can't stand them one bit, dude. What is this? This is a clip. What is this? Oh, this was supposed to be tied into my earlier thing. This thing. It just was a news article. Breaking news. Neuroscientists study reveals that Gen Z has become the first generation to be less intelligent than its predecessor, the millennials. Yes, Gen Z is retarded. That's correct, folks. Woohoo. And Gen Alpha is going to be worse. But anyways, science. This guy, this is all the white stuff. Some of these clips are from my shows that I didn't do, but because they won't work with anything now. And there's a part of me, I've been talking about white, race, right, whatever. Part of me, like, I'll talk about the topic, but I don't become obsessed about it. Like, some people just become absolutely obsessed with race, with racism, on the left, whatever. Like, white people who just become obsessed with being white and all of those things. I don't like it. I don't like it. I don't like thinking about my whiteness all the time or other people's skin color all the time. I just don't have time for that kind of thinking. But some people get consumed by it. And I think Nick Fuentes is a part of this. This guy's he's a Nick Fuentes follower. I really don't know who this guy is. But he's got the Wang Half, Ain't Scared. And Wang Half, I've already addressed this. It's a white-ass neighbor going hard as fuck. First of all, lame, dorky. Dorky, dude, Dork City, Dorksville. Shit's dumb. But just, you know, when someone's identity just becomes all about their race, I feel like they're almost 100% retard. I mean, they can't think about anything else. But I agree with that. There's a problem with race, something that should be discussed. I think that there's a lot of anti-white propaganda. You know, it's like when people are like Jews all the time. Like, yeah, Jews are a problem, but you know, there's co-conspirators at the table too. Let's not forget that. It's not just Jews. There's co-conspirators. And when it becomes too much of one thing in someone's life, it's nauseating. And this guy was supposed to go into my reaction content. I don't know, when it was a few days ago when I was talking about race. Let's see what he has to say.
The last 80 years were a problem. People who looked like us, that lived like us, they were the problem. And that we all needed to get past racism together. And that if we could pull it off, if we could get past...
I don't like the music. I don't like the way he's talking to me. I don't like the camera drawback. Whatever, dude. Waste of a clip. Should have never saved it. That's what I'm saying. I don't know why I save clips anymore. Like, I fucking can't. I can't react to shit, you know? Like, oh, man, I'm like, oh. No more. No more. This is a good clip, though. This goes in. This clip ties in with my earlier conversation about the low literacy rates, which I think the low literacy rates are because we brought in tons of illegal immigrants, but also we got you saw the breaking news I shared with you. Maybe you didn't see it, but you heard it about how Gen Z is the first generation to be dumber or less intelligent than its predecessor, the millennials. So yeah, these generations are in fact dumber. They're getting dumber by the day. And you have to ask yourself, well, why is that? What's happening? What's going on? What's making these people so retarded? Okay. I have the answer. It's right here. And we know the answer. The answer screens, but it'd be nice if someone was maybe a little bit more eloquent in how they, more eloquent than me. Is that even, am I even speaking correctly? Eloquent? Fuck. Need some water. Can't say words. I'm like Candace Owens. What does she say? Architecture? Eloquent. What's up, Insane Wheels? So anyways, these kids are dumber. You want to know why? I want to know why. Well, we got research to show you why. This is why you shouldn't give your kids tablets. You shouldn't give your kids screens, especially at a young age. You know what I mean? I'm completely adverse to people who give their kids any technology. I hate technology on some level, especially for children. They don't need that shit. And it's bad for you. And here's why it's bad.
Can you see the screen all right? Yeah.
This is 5-year-old Rose. She was one of 60 kids to undergo an exhaustive study in the US, using an MRI machine to scan the brains of kids aged 3 to 5 years old. The results, truly shocking. Interactive screen time causes a loss of white matter in the brain.
Well, in the simplest terms, we could actually refer to as some measure of brain impairment or brain damage.
They used to call that retardation. These kids are actually getting brain damaged from screen time. And it's not even a joke, right? It's just, they're serious. Like these kids are being damaged. To be fair to Gen Z, 10 million additional illegals were shoved into their schools. That's what I was saying, Ollie. That's going to affect test scores and resources meant for them. Ollie, you must have missed the earlier part of the show, but I said the exact same thing. The real race problem is the Paris to Dakar race. It's brutal. that reference is above my pay grade. Don't even get that. My pronouns are suck and balls. Quality pronouns.
Professor Mike Nagel from the University of the Sunshine Coast has spent a career studying child brain development.
So white matter in the brain is a material called myelin. So what myelin does is it wraps around the axons of neurons and acts like an...
No need to apologize. Hey, the fact that you are also aware of that makes me feel good, you know. And I'm glad you restated it for the audience. Because 10 million people did come into our country illegally, damn it. And they fucked everything up.
Insulator, conductor, not too dissimilar to the plastic coating of a wire. So if we're seeing deficits in myelin production early in life, we're probably seeing deficits in neural connectivity.
The study shows the more screen time a child is exposed to, the greater the loss of white matter. Can you remember your first reaction to those results, not only as a professional in this field, but as a father?
My gut reaction was, wow. I was not anticipating seeing anything like that. It hadn't occurred to me at the time that something as little as, and it said 2 hours a day, was having such a profound effect on the white matter associated with sort of language development. And by association, literacy, it was a shock, to be honest.
There you go. Literacy, language development. These kids' brains are retarded. And I'm using it in the clinical sense, not in the demeaning sense. So, you know, it's amazing these parents, you know, nowadays, maybe they think they're being kind. Maybe it's a sense of like, you know, you're giving your kid, you think something that is really a cool toy, and maybe you wish you would have had a tablet when you were a kid. And you're literally brain rot, literal brain rot. You're rotting the brain. You're destroying it. Then they go through school and they can't read shit. They got no language development skills. They can't read a damn book. They're in 4th grade and just be like, what the hell's going on here? And it's not their fault, dude. It's the parents' fault. And I'd be so angry if I was like one of these Gen Alpha and Gen Z kids and you're like, you get to 25 years old and you have the realization that you're a retard because your parents put a tablet in front of you and you had no choice, you know? They dropped your IQ by tenfold, maybe, I don't know, tenfold, but by 10s, 20s. Maybe you could have been average or even above average. But because they gave you a tablet, you're room temperature. Your room temperature, maybe a little warm. Maybe you're subtropical outside. But it's sad, dude. It's sad that we are dealing with, and I think this is intentional on some level, right? Because a dumber population is easier to control. So I think the elites and the demonic forces that be, they're always trying to dumb us down. They're always trying to make us sick, easier to control, easier to manipulate. They're trying to siphon our loosh. They're trying to do all kinds of crazy shit. They're attacking us all the time. And so I think they knew this, dude. They knew. How would they know, Provo? Well, if you just look at the early research of TV time. So they've been looking at people and children who spend a lot of time watching TV and same stuff. You know what I mean? Like kids who watch too much TV in the 80s and 90s didn't do as well academically to their peers who had less time watching TV. All this shit is known. It's been known about. And then they make all these apps, all these educational apps. They're a fucking lie, right? That's the worst thing in the world that's been invented is, quote unquote, educational apps and installed on kids' tablets, and parents think they're getting some kind of education. It's just disgusting. It's sickening. It's fraud. What it is fraud. That's what it is. But, you know, the demonic forces, what can you do about it? They're just destroying us. What a battle it is to fight these demons. And you can't really tell people. I've told family members, because they've made remarks about my family, like, well, you know, your kids are X, Y, and Z. Why are they like that? I would tell them point blank, well, I don't believe in screen time. I don't let my kids have tablets. Like, oh, yeah, that's nice. Meanwhile, I'll go see them like a month or two later. The kid's got a new tablet. They're watching, you know, they got a tablet. They're two screen. They got a movie on. They got a tablet in front of them. I'm like, well, nothing I can do. Whatever, dude. Fuck, it's your kid. I feel bad. You know, I feel bad when the kid realizes that you've pretty much retarded them. You've contributed to their lack of potential. What are you going to do about it, though? And I think a lot of parents don't give a shit on some level. Like, they don't really even care. Maybe they don't know. Maybe they're too busy. They tell themselves they're too busy. I don't know. Why people give their kids screens. So many excuses. So many excuses. They want peace and quiet. They just want to be left alone. What's up, Snafu crew? I'm Gen X. I saw this becoming a thing, and now I'm wondering what the fuck did we do? I don't know if it's Gen X's fault. I think it's just progress, society, propaganda, all of the above. If you have no other reason, look after your kids. Don't be a fuckwit to the most important you'll ever do. Yeah. People, children are an interesting thing. Like some people have them, they choose to have them. Some people have accidents that are their kids, and they treat the kid like an accident. They're like, well, you just kind of came here, so I don't even really want to be responsible with you, but legally, I'm supposed to. Here's a tablet. Leave me alone. Oh, man. Go learn. Do you hear? You need Roblox money? Bring me the damn tablet. Let me get my credit card. How much money do you need? $10. Okay, go buy that. Crazy. But yeah, technology sucks. It's vaporizing kids' brains. Yeah, kids should be digging holes like Jeremy. Good to see you, Quadratic. I know you're not a fan of me, so it means a lot that you're here. Oh, man. Shit, that was like my best clip. That was the best one I had. Everything else I have is trash. I think here's an interesting clip. Sad, really. I don't know how this happens. You really don't need to see it, but I think you wouldn't believe me if I told you otherwise. In Brazil, this is a 44-year-old man, and
indo para o serviço e acabou sendo agredido.
That's a homeless guy.
Foi preso, levado para a delegacia e lá
and it appears like the homeless guy is just gonna.
Também com outro detento de 20 anos no interior
da
cela, ele teve que ser transferido.
He hits him right in the face.
Para outro presídio.
And he knocks him out. You're like, well, why is that even a story, Provo? It's because the 44-year-old man waited 2 years for a cornea transplant to regain his sight. As soon as he left the clinic, a homeless person punched him in the eye and he went blind again. Crazy. That's fate, synchronicities. It's like God made you blind. Or maybe the devil made you blind. I don't know what happened, but then boom, you're blind again. Matter of minutes. Like, how does that stuff happen? Seems crazy to me, dude. Wait 2 years, get a cornea transplant, walk outside, you're just enjoying the beautiful world. Homeless guy walks up, takes it all away from you. It's just a matter of minutes. Boom, it's all gone. Life is funny sometimes like that. It's not funny for him, but it is comical. And I'm at the place where I've been for a long time now, out of content, with nothing left, nothing good, which sucks for me. Guess that's the end of the show. But anyways, what else could I talk about? I don't know. Which one was the homeless dude? The guy who walked up in the red shirt. He was the homeless one. It's not Gen X's fault. Academia and the government did that while their parents trusted in the authorities. Thankfully, more parents are aware now. Yeah, I couldn't have put it better. Roblox is a PDF thing. It is. I'm disgusted by people who let their kids play these games or any games like that. It is just weird too that these demonic activities. I don't know what people are thinking. Letting kids play Roblox. Out of content, Mike, hook him up. Mike's got a plethora. Was there anything I wanted to talk about? I don't even think I have notes. There's this thing I was going to talk about. It's called a dating recession. It's kind of dumb. But high school dating has fallen almost 50% since 1980. In 2024, a mere 46% of high school seniors reported ever going on dates. And I'm like, why is this important? Why is it important? I think that's, usually in America, that's where people would find the opportunity to practice how to court, right? How to treat the opposite sex. And now, and here's the other thing about dating. That's where you would find out about people. You would have questions like, oh, where'd you go for summer? Did you go on any vacations? Or what's your family like? Or blah, 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 blah. But now kids grow up and they like, the first thing they do is like, you got an Instagram? I don't know if they do Facebook, but they're like, do you got a Snapchat? Or fucking weirdos. And then they get the Instagram, and then all of a sudden they get their Snapchat, and they get all the information you would acquire from dating someone. You get to see what their family's like. You get to see where they went on vacation. And then you get to find out you get to build up a whole portfolio of who you think this fucking person is. So then when you go on a date, what do you really ask somebody when you think you already know them? You know what I mean? What questions do you have? I don't know. Like maybe potential future questions. What do you want to do? Where do you see yourself in 5 years? Like it's a damn interview. So that's why I think dating has fallen off, because you use to date people to find out about them. But social media has just corroded that whole endeavor of getting to know somebody. Now people get your social media, they scroll through it, they think they've figured you out. And if you go on a date, what's the date for? You know what I mean? It's maybe to have fun. A lot of degenerate people, it's to score, to put people to bed. I don't fucking know. But as far as high school kids go, it should be to practice courting and relationship. And there's no need to do that, I suppose. And that's why I think there's so many incels and single people, because they never practice those skills, right? They never practice the basic courting of other people. And it's sad to see some people when you go out and you're at dinner and you look at the other tables and an entire family's just sitting staring at their screens like, ugh. Who goes on can you imagine going on a date with somebody who's on their phone the whole time? Oh, God, that's got to be the worst. And that's what probably all these high school kids do. They go on a date and their date's just on the phone the whole time. Like, this sucks. Never learned those skills, how to put the phone away. They're just addicted. People addicted to screens. I hate screen addiction, dude. And I hate the world that it's created, dude. It's a bunch of detached know-it-alls. A lot of know-it-alls used to be far and few in between. You'd meet them every now and then, and you'd meet somebody and like, oh, that guy's a know-it-all. But that's fucking everyone today. Everyone's a fucking know-it-all because they got ChatGPT, they got Google. I don't even know if people still Google anymore. But they feel like if they don't know it, they could find it out. And the level of know-it-alls is just sickening. It's sickening. And then and the victimhood, you know what I mean? Tons of that this world. Like, oh, what do people say? I'm afflicted by anxiety. Oh, I got depression. Oh, I got so many ailments. Feel bad for me. How many feel bad points can I get today? I got so many things wrong with me. I got fibromyalgia. I'm afflicted with autism. I live with autism. Can I get some points, please? Can I get some understanding? Everyone's afflicted with shit. And who would want to go on a date with somebody afflicted with all these problems? It's like kids growing up, like they all have screen addiction, but like someone's screen addictions are going to be far worse. You like meet a nice boy or girl and it's like, oh, well, I'm thinking about doing Twitch. It's like, oh shit, she's going to be an OnlyFans model in 6 months. Yeah, it's just, and then all these kids, you got to understand too, now are scientifically retarded because they've all been raised on tablets. We got an entire generation of just retards whose prefrontal cortex is decayed because they stared at screens for 6 to 7 hours a day. They fall asleep and they get baby shark dreams just haunting them endlessly. Ooh. It's a real fucking problem. I'm afflicted. Maybe some Fazoli's and a little bowling. Yeah, Fazoli's used to be legit, dude. I love Fazoli's and bowling. It's a good sport. Hey, we fucking what? Yeah, that's what people are doing. Simple question, kids. Can you read a book of more than 20 pages? I hope so. Dating in high school was spending time in the same seat together in a Honda. Phew. That's a quality shared seat. You probably shared seat. You were at a drive-in movie theater. They don't even do those anymore. Dating was also required to get intimate with a lady. It's a lot easier now to just hook up. Great in the short term, terrible for long-term relationships. So true. Shh, Mike, bring on Lucy. Who's Lucy? I won't even talk to someone who pulls their phone out. Me neither, bud. Bring it out. I'll be gone before you realize I left. For real. People are overdiagnosed, and they want to be diagnosed. Everybody wants something to be wrong with them. You know what I mean? Like, oh, something's wrong with me. It's society. Something's wrong with society, bud. And they all want to be a part of a group. You know, I want to be different, but I want to fit in. I want to be a part of the rainbow, but I want to be my own color. Drive-in theater. It's a big theater that they would project. We had one in Utah. I don't know. I think it's gone now. Might still be there. But you park your car, you turn the radio or whatever to a certain station, and you'd listen to the movie through your car, and you'd watch the movie. Drive-in movie theater. They can't write. Yeah, kids can't write worth shit. Where was I? Got anything else? Do I got anything else? But yeah, it sucks. Sucks for kids. Sucks for the youth. It sucks that's the world. I mean, I think it's normal. Everything is so normalized. It's all they know. So they don't know it sucks. To them, it's maybe great. They probably like it. Like, oh, going on a date, that seems like a lot of work. What do they call that? Jester maxing? You got a jester? Yeah, you gotta learn how to treat other people. I know that's a complicated thing, but you got to learn to tolerate, figure them out. But whatever, dudes. Is there anything? Is there anything, man? Damn. What are you going to do, man? It's a content drought. It's a damn content drought, dude. I need to be fed. Where's that fresh content? I have to entertain people myself. I can't just play something for them. I gotta, what do I gotta do? I got a monologue? Oh no. It's the worst. There's still a drive-in theater in East LA. Oh, that's good. You still got it. There's a place that used to be a driving theater. Now it's a Dust Bowl. Ooh, quality Dust Bowl, I'm sure though. Lord, give me some thoughts. Give me something to rant about. I'm out of water. I got one more clip. We'll do a 2-hour stream. This next clip, haven't watched it yet, so we'll form our ideas and opinions about it together, folks. One moment, please. Transition.
When we talk about capital, we tend to think only about financial capital, about cash, financial assets, but we know that's not the only value on which our economies depend. We know that every aspect of every part of the economy is fundamentally dependent on nature, as you highlighted. The air that we breathe, the water we drink, the soil, the oceans that we need for the food that we need to consume, the minerals that we need as inputs to technology and to infrastructure. And without these forms of...
These people are sick. Everything's an input and output. They don't see us as individuals. You know, everything is an input, output, input, output. I hate, you know, they look at us like cattle. This World Economic Forum, these leaders, you know, totally replaceable. Totally replaceable. And the reality was like the elites, they use the celebrities as pawns, but now they don't really need celebrities anymore. Celebrities have kind of died down in some sense, and they can just replace them with AI. They can make new celebrities. They can make new, they can give me a mix between Harrison Ford and The Rock, and I want them to be my lead actor. And we'll do some James Cameron movie where we'll just have somebody in a 3D suit run around, and then we'll superimpose our new actor on them. We'll make a voice, a nice voice, a voice pleasing to the ears. Well, a mix between Cillian Murphy and, we need a little bit of a feminine touch. Jane Goodall. That'd be a nice voice for a main. The character's transgender anyways, so. But these people, input, output, no individuals, totally replaceable. It's sickening, dude. What is this lady saying?
Value, these forms of natural capital. We won't have economies. They are the fundamental building blocks of our economies. But the ways, as you said, the ways in which we have grown our economies, our models of economic development, have been incredibly successful.
Who the hell is she talking to? She doesn't even know. She's just up there like, I gotta go through these motions. I got a speech written here. Who's this for? Who's she trying to convince? You know, I was thinking about this with the Epstein thing. Like, a lot of these Epstein files are the people worried about are like victims and people and who abuse people. Like, yeah, that deserves attention. There's only one question that really needs to be answered. Some people think they answered it. Like, it's Mossad. But I want to know who Jeffrey Epstein worked for. That's the one question. Let's answer that one first. Then, yeah, prosecute people. But, there's, Jeffrey Epstein was certainly, just a middleman. And prosecuting these people doesn't solve the problem. Jeffrey Epstein's probably already been replaced. And they already have, jets flying around. And the whole system's still running perfectly fine. And, the people not implicated in the emails and all that stuff who somehow communicated anonymously are still participating in these terrible things. I don't think the system of abuse has been taken out, but that's one of the biggest lies being perpetuated right now is somehow Jeffrey Epstein's been shut down and now we just got to put all these pieces together and figure out who to prosecute and who's to blame. It's like, fuck, dude. Whoever's in charge just got somebody else to keep doing this fucking sick, ritualistic human trafficking service. It's still going on. Find out who's in charge. That's really the question. Who's in charge of this? And bring them to justice, which won't happen. But who's this lady talking to? Who's she trying to convince? Have you had any good beef jerky lately? No, I don't do beef jerky. It's expensive too. I went to the gas station and there was a bag of beef jerky. It was $40. I was like, holy shit. Smart enough to use code words, not smart enough to use code names. Isn't that crazy? Yeah, that's so funny. Why did they have aliases? They're just using their full email. They're the people who have emails of our generation who got to use their names. I'm the nasty fucker that will break their ideas. These shitbags think that when society changes, they think they'll be on top. Yeah, it's awful. The Epstein file drop shows how unimpressive the elites are. They're just rich people handed positions. So true. Did you cover the opening of the Winter Olympics? I got here late. No, I had videos saved about that. They all got taken down. So I was gonna go look for them again. They didn't use code names because they had no reason to fear getting caught. They are the establishment. True.
Global
But they still should have. I mean, idiots.
prosperity. But the unintended consequences of current models of growth are simply not sustainable on a finite planet. The amount of resource that we are drawing into our economies, Earth's resources, and the amount of pollution and waste that we're pumping out, whether that's through greenhouse gas emissions, whether that's sewage into our water, whether it's plastics into the ocean, is beyond the Earth's carrying capacity. And we know that that's leading, as you said, to very significant direct impacts for society, but very significant financial costs for the economy. You can look at that as you have and calculate that at a macro level. But the way that that's showing up as we're breaching these boundaries and breaching these limits and undermining nature is showing up in very practical ways that are showing up for financial risk for institutions. Lack of water is leading to disruption of operations, of supply chains where water is needed as an essential input for manufacturing or power production. The degradation of soil is leading to reduced agricultural yields. The decline of pollinator species is also having an impact on agriculture. So that's leading to direct financial risks for organizations, for businesses, and ultimately for investors.
Financial risks. In other words, people are dying. People are dying, no water, no food. And these are financial risks. There's no like human element. These people are talking like robots. Completely robotic, zero emotion. And then they convey empathy in some failed way. Ugh.
And as you said, ultimately the reason for this is at the moment the way that decisions are made on an everyday level within businesses and financial institutions is because we're looking only at financial data, financial metrics that are not factoring in nature. Nature is treated within the economy as though it's unlimited and predominantly as though it's free. And the risks and harms are simply not costed in financial terms. We can cost them at a macro level. They're not costed into day-to-day decision making. And the result is, as a consequence, we've put all of our economies at fundamental risk. We can't do business on a dead planet. If we're going to protect natural systems, one of the solutions is to bring nature onto the balance sheet, to bring nature into the ways that decisions are made within business, to allocate a value to it and to bring it into accounting and financial mechanisms.
So we need to put a value on air. How much is it worth? How much can you pay for it? You are allocated 50 fresh air today, sir. I don't know how they would measure air. I'm not a science guy. That was a boring clip. Sorry about that. I thought it'd be good. Oh, well, dude, we're at 2 hours. We got to put a financial cost to air and to trees and to the ocean. We got to incorporate this so we can keep running business as usual. Business as usual. How do I want to end the show? I don't know. It's been fun. Is there anything to talk about before I end? We can't do business on a dead planet. Meanwhile, 1,300 private jets flew to there. Yeah, crazy. Crazy. You see, I saw a map of all the people leaving the San Francisco Super Bowl game. It's disgusting. And they blame us for it. I was like, what the hell? Here, have a paper straw with microplastics. Let it slowly kill you. Oh, no. It's a fun world, though. Dude, I still think things are great. I love this world. A lot of people are worried about like a economic collapse. They say it's imminent. They're worried about war with Iran. People saying war. Let me just give you guys a clue. If we go to war, do anything with Iran, it won't be in February, okay? War always happens in March. It's usually when war starts. It's always in March. Nobody goes to war in winter. Idiots. It doesn't matter if the war is in a desert because we still have to supply chains and logistics in our own country. We got to move missiles, dummies. So it's harder to move missiles on roads and trucks on roads in wintertime. We got to wait till it's spring where there's no snow, okay? So if we do anything with Iran, it's going to go off in March, of course, obviously. We might do a couple bombing runs in February. I'm not saying we might not bomb some fucking people, but if we ever do boots on ground shit, the announcement will be made in March, which I think could happen. But, economic collapse, that'd be a good way. If the economy does collapse, it'd be nice if the government says to themselves, well, like, how do we get out of this mess? Let's go to war in the Middle East. Terrible idea. Maybe, I don't want to go to war with Russia. I'd rather go to war with Europe. Cleanse out Europe, fix it. But so, yeah, a lot of people are doomsaying. I think they're always doing that. Things are always going to be bad. They're terrible. The world sucks. I think the world's fine. I think people are too tuned in. Of course, Well, that's the biggest problem. Just the addiction to screens. And the screens just live off fear. Fear, propaganda cycles. You always have to be aware of things that are up to date. You got to be in the know, because you got to be a know-it-all. Absolutely have to be a know-it-all. You have to know everything. So I don't know. I think it sucks that if the economy collapses again, that'd be the worst. I wonder what that would look like, though. A collapsed economy. I feel like we already had one a couple years ago. Like, wasn't that what the pandemic was? Wasn't that a collapsing of the economy? No, not really. And then we had one in 2008. Was there another one I'm not aware of? I don't even really. I remember like the 2008 collapse a little bit as a high schooler, going to some of my friends' houses, and you notice it because obviously you go to a friend's house, you go into the pantry, and like some of my friends didn't have shit. Like, sorry, man, my dad lost his job. I don't have anything to eat here. Do you want to go to your house? Like, yeah, we could go to my house. Snacks. That's how I noticed. There's a low supply of snacks at my friend's house. That's like when I knew the economy was bad. I was like, shit, you guys don't have any snacks here. What the hell's going on? Yeah, sorry, dude. My dad lost his job. Ooh, that's tough. I remember like going into some of their houses, and when the economy was bad, you could just see the house like it was in disarray. You feel bad. Like, fuck, when shit like that happens, dude, people's lives go to hell. They got no snacks. They got no snacks. 2008, you poor young bastards. 98 and the other bubble in 2002. Yeah, that's right. 2002, I don't remember that as well. What's up, Xander? Good to see you. Show is freaking great. Appreciate you stopping by. Really appreciate that. What's up, Sawyers? Even Bill Gates said he wanted the world to bring human population to 500 million, but that was before the Epstein files. Said he had an STD. Yeah, Billy Gates, that demon. Bill. Some people, like, it's weird how some people like that. It's like, I'd be surprised. Meet another person named Bill. It's got to be in the family. That's the only way you justify it. Yeah, grandpa named Bill. I feel like Donald Trump has ruined the name Donald. I don't think, maybe like if you're a Republican, you'll name your kid Donald, but I don't think it's going to be too common of a name anymore. But a lot of people, they want to be right about bad things. The economy collapsing. War. I want to, if we're going to have a war, I want a good war, dude. I want a war worth fighting for. But there are no more good wars worth fighting for. There's no more bad guys, no good bad guys. Like, even China, I'm like, I don't even know if China's a good bad guy. But I saw all their fishing boats off of what was it, Argentina or Chile, and I was like, yeah, maybe they are the bad guys. We need to stop China immediately. They got too many fishing boats in South America depleting our oceans. It's disgusting. I'd go to war for the fish. I'd go to war for the fish. lower the human population in China a little bit. Help the ocean regrow. But yeah, I should find that video. Chinese boats off the coast of, what's it called? Chinese boats. Too many of them. Too many mouths to feed. But they're people, though. They deserve life, right? But do they deserve to eat fish off of South America? No, they don't. Let them eat bugs. That's how the elites look at us. Just let the if they're going to keep reproducing, just let them eat fucking bugs. I can't find the video. Oh, here it is. It's like, holy shit. Look at all these Chinese boats. I don't know what this person's zooming out towards. I'm not going to wait to find out. Too many Chinese boats. Fishing. They need to eat something else, damn it. No more sushi. Sushi's bad for you anyways. It's got all the parasites in it. Whatever. Disgusting. Sushi. What are people thinking? I don't know. Raw fish. Sushi was probably good before. I mean, there's always probably filled with parasites. That's what the wasabi's for. But they don't even give you real wasabi anymore. It's like horseradish paste or something. Parasites. Ugh. That's what a lot of people think the problems are now. Parasites. There's so many health experts. The bad guys are liberal Europeans and Jews. Yeah, agreed. The Chinese fishing fleet does devastate entire regions. It's massive. I remember a pilot calling in and reporting strange lights off our west coast. Turns out it was the Chinese fishing fleet 30 miles off our coast. Sushi is delish. No, not you, Mella. No. There's parasites in those fish. Don't you know that? If I eat sushi, it's gotta just be shrimp only. Shrimp only. And the shrimp has to be cooked, obviously. If you think I'm wrong, Google it. I believe you. Man. Yeah, but that's who I'd go to war with. I'd go to war with China just for the fish. Save the oceans. Anything else worth talking about? Probably not. I gotta figure this damn show out I'm doing. If I'm not gonna be a miner for content. There's no more content to dig for, dude. The content sucks. It's and a lot of it's, pop culture. Keeping up with like what's going on. And then I feel like you're just being told what to react to, what to think about. And that stuff kind of bothers me too. It's like, oh man, it's just like, it's like I want my own show, but all this stuff out there is already being procured and allocated and dispensed, and you get to pick from it. It's like your thinking is so limited when you do reaction stuff to world events and things like that. And some of it, everybody else is usually always talking about that shit anyways. And I like talking about migrants. I do, damn it. Just because of the state of Utah. It's in the news quite a bit. But even now, I'm sick of it. What do I do? I'll figure it out. But I can't be thankful enough. You guys have been amazing today. Thank you so much for whatever. Whatever. It's no big deal. I'm not judging you. You can enjoy sushi. Sushi is my all-time favorite. I feel targeted. Oh, no. Okay, guys. Sushi is great. I've offended my audience. I won't ever talk about sushi again. That's the last time I bring it up. Unless maybe I will bring it up, but I'll try not to do it again. I'll say nicer things about it. God bless you all. Hope you have a great rest of your week. Probably we'll do a show later, sometimes this week. I'm not sure. I'm not sure what I'll do. We'll find a song. Thank you again. God bless. Have a great week, everybody. Not this one. We'll do this one. It's short. See you next time.